What's going on? New Game in Order, the man, the myth, the juggernaut. Alex X is hitting you with the head crush, canceling into a pimp smack. Before I go into work today, just wanted to cover, I actually have to start doing lunchtime TV or little shorts and stuff. But, the Video Game Awards went down last night. I'll probably do a separate podcast on it. We'll see. It was like oversaturated with reaction videos and so on and so forth. I just wanted to, say that was a good show overall. It was solid, with the exception of Kratos over there, this gold suit and talking, rambling and all that. It's like, get off the stage, B. Wrap it up. But in any case, I wanted to kind of on the surface level touch on my response. Just, I've been trying to wait to talk about the Activision Blizzard King acquisition with Microsoft, and it's just now the FTC wants to sue Microsoft. The CMA jumping in there and using the same talking points from Sony's Jim Ryan. And some of the arguments that Microsoft is being accused of is what Sony has been doing for the longest. So I think this is possibly why Microsoft is emboldened to fight in court, have their lawyers in place. And I think now the gloves need to come off. Mudslinging, fight fire with fire and whatnot, because, there was a point where they said, restricting Call of Duty is going to hurt the PlayStation, game base and so on and so forth. But not one time did anybody stop to consider the Final Fantasies, the freaking Street Fighter V, and so many other titles, even some of the indies that were initially pegged as, this is going to be multi-console release. Then Sony comes in as a publisher, and now they're exclusive. So Sony has been doing it. Microsoft, I blame them too, because they let them do this. And now it's like you let cancer spread, and then it gets to a point where you're in stage 4 and now you want to fight. Come on now. And this is not to make light of cancer, because my mom is a cancer survivor. And my dad got it. So just to lay the record straight. But I'm saying that why wait now to fight? We knew Sony was doing some underhanded stuff and making all these deals. And now they want to make a spectacle or a circus in court. If they're going to wait now to fight, you better make sure you have your ammunition in place, because you don't want to run out of ammo when it gets down to it. The FTC may lose this one. It might backfire and blow up in some people's face. Or if the deal does get blocked, that might be, I hate to do this reference, but Dreamcast guy made a good point. You block this, all that money that's now back in the ether, they can go and do counter offers. And Microsoft's wallet, their bankroll is about 10 times deeper than Sony's. If they wanted to be like that, they could, but they haven't. That whole pacifist nature kind of hurt Microsoft, and it's like now you want to fight. You're in the 12th round, and you had the 11 rounds to throw a punch, and now you want to start doing it. Okay. So Microsoft is not innocent in the whole thing, but I root for underdogs. I've always been that way. But what Sony has been doing, how dare they sit there and cry foul when they were doing it for the longest? And this is just, if I weren't a gamer, if initially when I went to college, I was trying to go into criminal justice, and I left that because I'm like, you know what? Some of the laws and systems are broken. You can't fix a lot of things. So I just withdrew. But I learned a lot of things. And I'm just like, fairness isn't guaranteed, and business is business. Sony was doing the same thing that they fear Microsoft will do with Call of Duty, and that's a crying shame. That's a crying shame. So with that said, a lot of fanboys are gonna be like, oh, this, that, and the third, or whatever. Why did it come to the Activision? It's not even about the Activision Blizzard King. It's all about Call of Duty. And Call of Duty made Sony a lot of money once Microsoft lost the marketing. Because remember, in the 360 era, Call of Duty was prime, and they owe the 360 a lot because I knew about Call of Duty, but it wasn't my thing until I started playing it on the 360. And from there, once that deal, after Peter Moore left, then Sony snagged up that, and then it started doing major business for them. But I think that was a bad move because you had Killzone and the Resistance. You had a lot of, because I owned those games back in the day. I'm like, well, how come Sony stopped trying with doing the first person stuff? Halo still exists, Gears still exists, and that's shooters. That's native to, well, at least Halo, and that's even questionable if you go into the history of things. But overall, it's like the lack of effort from Sony. It seems like now they're scared because maybe they're not in a position to bring back Killzone. They're not in a position to bring back that stuff. Like what happened to Twisted Metal? What happened to a lot of these titles that I remember? I was a PlayStation head back in high school. So I'll just say this: Sony's scared. Microsoft messed up by waiting too late to fight, and now it's gonna be Jiren versus Ultra Instinct Goku, and there's gonna be casualties. Like this is going to change the landscape. Believe me when I tell you, But overall, Sony, how dare you? You're scared of what Microsoft is going to do to you, what you've been doing to them. You let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to have a healthy debate because look, a lot of the stuff that Sony has done, I started saying, you know what, just chalk it up to business. It is what it is. Sony's gonna do what Sony's gonna do. But Microsoft goes to the same playbook. Oh, no, we could do it to you, but you can't do it to us. Imagine if I'm sitting here playing Shinwar and Street Fighter, like, oh, I can use special moves, but you can't. Or I can use ultras, but you can't. Like, it should be the same set of rules. This is a fighting game round right now. Everybody, Microsoft and Sony, Nintendo, Steam, everybody should have the same set of rules to compete. That's all I'm saying. Let it be fair. If Microsoft can do it, let them do it. Sony's been doing it. And I said to somebody that didn't have a response, and it was a Sony pony, a hardcore Pegasus, straight out the box. I said, if the roles were reversed and Sony was in that position to acquire, Activision and lock up Call of Duty, for a fact Call of Duty would not appear in any other platform. Believe me when I tell you. No response from that person because they know it's true. They know it's true. So that's all I got. The man, the myth, the juggernaut. I got to get in there, get some breakfast, and get to work. I'm going to have a discussion with this. Matter of fact, I got to bring free play mode in on this one and geeking out. This should be good. But let me know what you think. Juggernaut out.